Let's bring you some other world news now. The new interim president of Syria, Ahmad al-Sharaa, has been invited to Paris by President Emmanuel Macron. The Élysée Palace says that meeting could take place in the coming weeks. This after the pair spoke by phone yesterday. Now, if Sharaa does receive an official welcome here in Paris, it would mark a remarkable shift for the Islamist rebel turned president who spearheaded the battle to oust the Assad regime in Syria in December last year. Well, with me now is Wassim Nasr, who has spent quite a bit of time in Syria, something of an expert on this story, who's met Ahmad al-Sharaa himself. Wassim, first of all, look, the office of Emmanuel Macron saying that France's priority is to lift sanctions on Syria to pave the way for economic recovery of the country. But obviously there are huge challenges ahead, and security is one of those.
Sure, security is one of the big issues between Paris and Damascus, and security includes also chemical weapons. For example, I got to know that tomorrow a delegation from OPCW is going to be in Damascus for a few days. They're going to meet the Minister of Foreign Affairs in Damascus, and they want to establish a bureau in Damascus to help the new authorities in this regard. The other security issue is, of course, terrorism and foreign jihadis present in Syria, either in the ranks of which was known as Hayat Tahrir al-Sham, or either in the prisons in northeast Syria. Regarding the fighters that fought along Ahmad al-Sharaa, today president, well, he actually, as he told me in Damascus a few weeks ago, is trying to fix the situation. Some of them got grades in the army, meaning to keep them local, and he said they fought with us, they deserve to have this gratitude, and in this way he puts them away from what can be called international terrorism or international jihad. Just for example, a foreign Egyptian jihadi was outspoken against the Egyptian president a few days ago, and he got jailed by the new authorities. The other issue, of course, foreign fighters held by the YPG or Syrian Democratic Forces in northeastern Syria, and that's another part of internal balance in Syria.
Well, let's talk about that then, the Kurdish question, because we understand Emmanuel Macron has made this suggestion that the Syrian Democratic Forces, which is led by Kurdish fighters, might be integrated inside the Syrian army. I mean, could that really happen?
Well, actually, the French are pushing for this, and really pushing for this, literally, by engaging both sides. And in a way, today, Mazloum Abdi, meaning the head of the Syrian Democratic Forces, which is a Syrian Kurd himself, is facing the same problem that Ahmad al-Sharaa faced when he was in the ranks of Al-Qaeda, meaning having foreign fighters in his ranks and depending from a radical organization labeled as terrorist, meaning the PKK. You see, so today the shift that Ahmad al-Sharaa was able to do away from Al-Qaeda and from international jihad got him all this way. So it is still, it's up to Mazloum Abdi today to make some decisions. And for example, we were talking about foreign fighters in the ranks of the supporters of Ahmad al-Sharaa, but also the YPG has foreign fighters. So they are negotiating all this. And just to give you a glimpse on what's being negotiated and what was negotiated in Damascus between Mazloum Abdi and Ahmad al-Sharaa directly, for example, Ahmad al-Sharaa was trying to make it macro, meaning what is the future? What can we negotiate on big dossiers? And Mazloum Abdi wanted really tactical and very practical issues, meaning, for example, they got to negotiate Syrian Kurds going back to the area of Afrin, and in return, Ahmad al-Sharaa will get back the control of the Tishreen Dam. You know, Tishreen Dam, which gives water and electricity to Aleppo. Maybe we'll see today, actually, it happened. The Syrian authorities went back to Afrin, which was held by other rebel factions. We have a video of this, and it happened like a few hours ago, where we saw the new authorities taking back this area of Afrin from other rebel groups, and which might permit, here it is, for other Syrian Kurds to come back to this area. So it is evolving, and it is unfolding in a very slow way, because trust has to be built between the two parties, and the French are working on this, despite the fact that Ahmad al-Sharaa in the ranks of Hayat Tahrir al-Sham, from the days of Hayat Tahrir al-Sham, had already channels of negotiation with Kurdish forces, knowing that his foreign minister, Asad Shibani, is originally from northeastern Syria.
And look, and when we're talking about these challenges ahead, You've already talked about the Kurds, and clearly for the Syrian government, one of the challenges is actually the sovereignty of Syria. It doesn't have territorial autonomy. We have the Kurds in the northeast. You have the Israelis in the Golan Heights. So how does this Syria go about trying to balance and prevent so much foreign intervention?
Well, actually, it's all about what's going to happen in the upcoming days and weeks. Maybe we're going to see a map to see how it is, the situation is in Syria. And starting from this point, if the Syrian Democratic Forces accept to merge into the Syrian army, meaning Syrian authorities in Damascus getting back all this yellow area we see here, meaning all the richness of Syria is there, meaning agriculture, meaning petroleum, etc. Turkey won't have any more an alibi to be or to have presence in the red areas that we see here, used as a buffer zone between them and the PKK, which they consider and European considers as a terrorist organization. On the other hand, if the Israelis are reassured regarding this new authority, and Ahmad al-Sharaa himself said, we don't want war with anyone. He told me that in December. We are tired, the Syrians are tired, we just want to build our country. Well, they might retreat from the buffer zone they went into in dark blue, where we see on the border with Lebanon. And so if Damascus gets back control of its territory, it will limit foreign interventions for sure. But for this to happen in a good way, sanctions has to be lifted in order to rebuild infrastructure and in order to permit for Syrians themselves in the diaspora to come back to Syria and rebuild Syria, because it's an open field for investment, actually. So lifting sanctions isn't just gifting Syrians something. It is enabling them to rebuild their country and to put it on right tracks. And this way, if the money comes in, cities are built, Syrians will go back home, and they won't be tempted by foreign intervention, which of course the Iranians or other will propose money, knowing that, and we'll finish with that, more than 80% of the Syrian population lives below poverty line.
All right, Wassim Nasr, thanks for your analysis. Good to talk to you.